Lab Addicts Music
You know what
Group.
time it is? This is Conversations with Maas. Subscribe now. Lock in. Let's go. Real street, man, we watching Maas. Real street, man, we call on Maas. Real street, man, we watching Maas. Real street, man, we call on Maas.
Lab Addicts Music Group.
This is Conversations with Maas.
Lab Addicts Music
You know what
Group.
time it is? This is Conversations with Maas. Subscribe now. Lock in. Let's go. Real street, man, we watching Maas. Real street, man, we call on Maas. Real street, man, we watching Maas. Real street, man, we call on Maas.
Lab Addicts Music Group.
This is Conversations with Maas.
Lab Addicts Music
You know what
Group.
time it is? This is Conversations with Maas. Subscribe now. Lock in. Let's go. Real street, man, we watching Maas. Real street, man, we call on Maas. Real street, man, we watching Maas. Real street, man, we call on Maas.
Lab Addicts Music Group.
This is Conversations with Maas.
What's goody? What's goody? What's goody? It's Monday night, and it's Adult Conversations with Maas. Hope everybody had a good weekend. Hope everybody was able to enjoy the sun. If you had sun in your region, there was a lot of thunderstorms over the weekend. Lots of hurricanes, lots of thunderstorms, lots of damage. And we want to give a prayer to those people who've been affected by all those storms. St. Louis got hit real hard. Some parts of Kentucky got hit really, really hard. So, yeah, we got those people on our thoughts. But before we go any further, we got to give thanks to the Most High for allowing us to be here to see another day. And if you all haven't heard, Maryland Governor Wes Moore vetoed the slavery reparations study in Maryland, and he cited that this issue has been looked at and studied, and they've come up with the conclusion with it for it, and he just says that there needs to be work within the African American community to close the gap between FBAs, Black Americans, Indigenous Americans, that basically pull yourself up by your bootstraps. It's the way I look at that. So I came up with the poll today, and the poll is, do you believe Black Americans deserve reparations? Now, we've been hearing this reparations thing in terms of Black people in America for over 30 years. Over 30 years they've been talking about this. And Bud Files, Jug, hey, how y'all doing? They've been talking about this issue for the last 30 years. And some states, California in particular, they already have reparations for people that live in California. They've done things. They're one of the most forward-thinking states in the United States, being that they've already talked about it. They've already basically started to give people some form of reparations. Now, what I notice when they always have this reparations discussion is there's one group of people, one group of black people, who always tend to say that there's no need for reparations. And that one group of people that always says that black people don't need reparations is the black bourgeoisie. And I mean I understand. And I'm looking through this with the lens of neutrality, for or against it. But repeatedly when this issue comes up, it's usually members of the black bourgeoisie who tend to say Americans don't need reparations. Now, the CBC came out today, Congressional Black Caucus, and they disagree. I have a video I'm gonna play in a couple seconds. And we're gonna talk about that tonight. Is there a need for reparations? Do black people need reparations? And why is it one group of people within our community that tend to always say, nah, there's no need for reparations. I did it. I pulled myself up by my bootstraps and I fought everything that they threw at me and I'm successful. Look at me, I'm successful. And that is a singular outlook on an issue that affects millions. So while we have people that have been able to climb the ladder of success and to achieve the American dream, everybody is not that fortunate. So we're going to talk about that tonight. YWG, what it do? So I have a poll tonight. Do you want reparations for indigenous black people? And we're going to see how that goes. Right now, it's 100% yes. And to the people that say, yes, black people do need reparations, why do you think, does Westmore have aspirations of running for president? Former Rhodes Scholar. He's an Army veteran. He received his master's degree from Oxford. He's wrote a book. He's hosted some shows on Oprah's network. And he's a Democrat that won the 2022 Maryland gubernatorial election. He's the first black governor of the state of Maryland. He was born in Maryland, born and raised in Maryland. He's got a nice family. He's got a nice black family. But why would he say there's no need for reparations, even though he was able to pull himself up by his bootstraps, go to the Army, become a Rhodes Scholar, become the governor of Maryland? Why does he not believe that black people deserve reparations. So I'm gonna share this video that I found today, and it gives an overview of Westmore and why he vetoed the reparations study bill.
You are in news.
This is Clay Kane. According to the Associated Press, Maryland Governor Wes Moore vetoed a bill to create a commission studying slavery reparations, calling it a tough decision but saying the issue had already been thoroughly examined. The bill was a top priority for the legislature. State's first black governor said it's time to act, not study, by closing racial wealth gaps and supporting black communities. The veto drew sharp criticism from the caucus, which called it a missed opportunity to address historical harms. The measure passed both chambers with veto-proof majorities, and lawmakers could revisit it in a future session. Maryland Governor Wes Moore issued 23 votes in total on Friday. For AURN News, this is Clay Kane.
Shouts out to AURN News for putting that video out. YWG said black folks that claim we don't need reparations because they think they are wealthy and got it like that are corny. Juggernaut said they need to go back to the history of slaves and their lineage. Get the information about the property acquired and give it to the families. YWG said blacks that think we don't need it should keep their opinions. Well, you know they're not going to do that. But my thing is we know that historically it has not been equal in terms of just in my lifetime. I have witnessed different things. I have seen people stifled. I've seen different situations. But even though some black people have been able to close that gap individually, when those individuals put down reparations, that's an individual decision based off of their own success. They're basing their success on the whole of black people. Okay. I asked that question. YWG said West doesn't want that rep because he wants to run for president in 2032, and he don't want to piss off them folks. Would he really? I mean, if he allowed, but the thing about it is this is just a study. He vetoed the study. He doesn't even want it to be studied. He doesn't even want it to be studied. But my thing is we have lots of situations of systemic racism that is in all sections of society. Why shouldn't there be some sort of remedy for black people as a whole? The individuals that don't think black people need reparations, I mean, they can always say, I don't want the reparations. Or even if they don't want the reparations, I think that they should be able to look at it from a holistic point of view to see that my success is not the success of everyone affected. Now, me, the reason that I say I'm neutral is because I flip flop. Sometimes, I mean, me personally, I think there should be reparations for black people, but I don't necessarily need the reparations. Now, if they want to give me a bill, if they want to give me reparations and the money, I'll take it and I'll do something useful with it. But no way would I come out. No way would I come out and say wholly that no, black people don't need reparations. But that's me, because I'm looking at it from a holistic perspective, and I'm not basing my individual successes on the entirety of black people. But that's me. Why is it people from the talented 10th, and if you don't know what the talented 10th is, it's the belief that there's 10% of the African American community that are the purveyors of excellence in the black community. And they're the ones that are going to help pull everyone else up. But it doesn't seem like that. It doesn't seem like that. Because lots of people from the talented 10th wholeheartedly disagree with reparations. Okay, YWG said West wants to run for a second term of governor of Maryland and set himself up to run for the presidency in 2032. These, I've never heard a person from South Africa say that they did not deserve reparations for going through apartheid. I've never heard that. I've never heard a Japanese person say, we didn't need those reparations that they gave us, that America gave us back in 1940 something, because we were put in internment camps for a year. They got reparations. They got reparations. Japanese people that were put in internment camps in America receive reparations. I've never heard a Japanese person say, we didn't deserve those reparations that we got. But why is it the people who have had to endure systemic racism, overt racism, racism of every kind that you can imagine, don't deserve reparations? And there are people within the community that say that black people do. I've never heard people in these other races that receive reparations. I've never heard any people from those races come out and say, we didn't need those reparations. Hey, Score, I've never heard that. I've never heard Japanese, South African people say that their people didn't deserve reparations, even if they were successful. You cannot base your individual successes on the totality of people. That doesn't even, everyone didn't have the same advantages that you had. Everyone didn't come up in a two-parent household. Everyone didn't have parents that pushed them. Everybody didn't have that village. Everyone didn't have that. So to say that because I've made it, I don't think there should be a study is, if I'm a white person and I look at Westmore in saying that, I'm like, what's wrong with this guy? Why wouldn't he want to study it for his people? Why wouldn't he? Why wouldn't he? If I were white and white people needed reparations, I wouldn't say, no, white people don't need reparations. Publicly. Okay. We got Scorp Mama that came in. She said Section 8 food stamps and Medicare are reparations. They are good things, Scorp, but you can't look at them like reparations because white people get those things. Everyone gets Section 8. Everyone can get food stamps and everyone has the ability to get Medicare. So I don't think that those things are forms of reparations. I think that they're programs that are good within, to some extent, they're good within the government, but I wouldn't see those as reparations for the fact that everyone is entitled to those. Scorp said, ain't nothing left to give. Uh-oh. Now, before I put this up, these opinions that are expressed are not mine. I watch Anton Daniels sometimes. Can't say that I agree with everything he says, but I do watch it from time to time. YWG After Dark said that cornball Anton Daniels claims that there's no racism. As a matter of fact, Lil Wayne said the same thing. These individuals are dangerous to black people. YWG said these individuals are dangerous to black people. People like Lil Wayne and people like Anton Daniels. That's what YWG says. People that claim there's no racism, you can't even argue with people like that. You can't even have an argument with a person about racism that believes that there is no racism. You can't. That's, for one, that's not logical. It's not logical. So you can't have a real conversation with those types of individuals. Juggernaut TV said there is not one bill or law specific for the people of color. I'm the anti-lynching bill. We ain't gonna even talk. Well, I'm being facetious, but why are reparations such a hot ticket item in the black community? Why is there a group of people within the black community that say black people don't need reparations? You can say that you don't need them, but to say that everyone doesn't need them, that's an individualistic point of view. It's an individualistic point of view for something that is for the totality of black people. Scorp said there's no way to determine who gets reparations. We all a mixed race. I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that. Because there was a time that if you had one drop of black blood in your body, you were considered black. So you had people back in the days that were able to pass as white folks. YWG After Dark said the government gives all this money to other countries by the billions, giving reparations to different races without blinking or a study. Now, that is one thing that is true. We've given a lot of money to what's his name, Zelensky. Zelensky's had a lot of money for the Ukraine. Would you consider the money that was given to Ukraine reparations? I mean, it's not reparations, but it's a whole lot of money. Why is reparations such a hot ticket item in the black community? Why is there such disdain? Why is there such disdain within the black community for people to be given the opportunity to feel like they're whole? Well, even if you don't need the reparations or don't want them, why would you base your successes on the totality of black people? That's one thing that I don't understand. It's one thing that I don't understand. Even if you don't need it, you can still not need it and be for it for the entirety of people. So I don't get it. And I understand, you want to play the game of politics, but us as black people, we don't play the game of politics well. We don't. Because we feel that in order to get them to vote for us, we have to not do anything for our own people. And that is a misnomer. It's expected. When there's a white president, the white population of America expects that president to do something for their people. When the Chinese national won the mayor of when individuals win the mayorship of different cities, those people in their community expect them to do something for them. It's logical. Why is it that when black politicians get a little bit of power, they turn their backs on black people? And I think that's a bigger issue in relations to reparations. But why is that? Why, when you win, you feel that you can't do anything for your own because then those people won't vote for you? No. It's expected for you to do something for your people. It's just what I see. YWG said, we as blacks need to stop making excuses why we shouldn't get it and just get it. Now, the CBC, the Congressional Black Caucus, came out today and basically denounced him vetoing the study. Now, I don't agree with a lot of stuff that the Congressional Black Caucus says or does, but I agree with them on this issue. And I can say that having a chance to have been a part of the Congressional Black Caucus, I've been to it. I've been a part of the festivities. I've been a part of the meetings. I've done the whole thing. One of the companies that I worked for when I first moved to DC was able to get me credentials to be a part of the Congressional Black Caucus, and I've been there and seen some of the things that they do. I don't agree with a lot of the stuff that they say, but I agree with them on this issue because Moore, a Democrat who was the state's first black governor and the only black governor currently serving, wrote in his veto letter that he applauded the legislature's work on the bill. But in light of the many important studies that have taken place on this issue over nearly three decades, as I said, it's been going on for like 30 years, now is the time to focus on the work itself. Narrowing the racial wealth gap, expanding home ownership, uplifting entrepreneurs of color, and closing the foundational disparities that lead to inequality, from food insecurity to education, Moore wrote. The governor also noted in his veto letter that black politicians have risen to the highest levels of government in the state in recent years. For example, U.S. Senator Angela Also Brooks is the state's first black U.S. senator. Maryland also has a black attorney general, a black state house speaker, and a black treasurer. We have moved in partnership with leaders across the state to uplift black families and address racial disparities in our communities, Moore wrote. That is the context in which I've made this difficult decision. Because while I appreciate the work that went into this legislation, I strongly believe now is not the time for another study. Now is the time for continued action that delivers results for the people we serve. Before I read that, I said that he's looking at his individual successes and the individual successes of the people that he has placed in those positions against the totality of black people. And that is not the lens that we want black politicians to look through. That's not the lens. We want politicians that look through the lens of wholeness, not individual, yeah. I don't understand that. I mean, I like Wes Moore. I like some of the stuff that he stands for. He's a strong black man, strong black family. He's the first governor of Maryland. But I disagree with him vetoing this study, and I'm pretty sure that the legislatures of Prince George's County are as upset about this as I am. Prince George's County being the number one county for African Americans in the United States. It's one of the richest African American populated counties in America, and I'm pretty sure that they are highly upset about what Wes Moore has done. TMI Santiago, what's going on, my brother? What's going on over in Thailand? If you're looking for a Thailand report on what the happenings are in Thailand, go check out TMI. Too much information. I told you that before you went over there. But yeah, go check out TMI. Why brought up individual successes. If you're going to fight reparations and say that I don't agree with reparations, and this is why, you can't come from an individual point of view. You have to come from a holistic point of view of these are the things that black people have gained from society. You can't say my individual successes show that it shows that some people can make it through the cracks. That's what it shows. It does not show anything in the scheme of the totality of black people. It shows that one person, some people can make it and some people can't. But you can't base your making it to make decisions for the people that, you're entrusted. The black people that voted you in, Westmore, they entrusted you to do what's right. And vetoing a study on reparations, just a study, is counterproductive to what you're talking about. Why can't we be looking to close that gap with monies that was made out of our ancestors black for the 400 years of free work that they gave this country? Why can't we use that money? Why can't we use those reparations for the people that need it and want it? Why can't we use those reparations to close that gap? What are you going to do in your legislation to help close the gap? Talking about your individual successes is not what black people want to hear. We know you're individually successful. You're the governor. We don't need you to tell us about that. We need you to, any black leader, you have been entrusted by your constituents, black people, to do something that is beneficial for black people. Not these little crumbs that a lot of these black politicians want to give us and say that they've done a lot for us. YWG said, talking is right now is not the time. When you hear that, turn your back. Now is not the time for YWG said, just turn your back on those people. We have to have people in power that think about the little man. And a lot of these politicians, they don't think about the little man. Show me somebody that's not an attorney general, that's not a treasurer, that's not a governor that has had successes. I'll be more apt to listen to you. I'll be more apt to listen to you. Show me somebody from the inner city that did it, that's not a Rhodes Scholar, that didn't go to a 4-year college. Because in other communities, white people can show you, oh, well, this guy, he didn't go to college. He's a plumber. Show me a plumber that has moved himself to the same stature that you have. Show me those people. Because those are the people that you're going to be judged on. Is the lowest on the totem pole. Not the people that have made they're going to look at that, but you're going to be judged on the people that are lowest on the totem pole. So you got to do something. You got to throw your hand back to lift those people up, politicians, black politicians. YWG said West didn't get his vote and will not. Come on. YWG, okay. You're in Maryland, YWG, and you were there for the 2022 election. I left just before it. What is it about Wes Moore that says that you say you will never vote for him? What did? Because you've been in Maryland, Washington D.C. area your whole life, so you've seen his rise, Wes Moore's rise through the legislation and things of that nature to the point where he's now the governor. What is it about him that makes you say that he never got your vote and he never will get your vote? What is it? What did Wes Moore do? From everything that I've heard and I've read, he's done some good things. He's done some questionable things too, which any politician will do. But what is it? Is it something that he's done? What is it? Because for all intents and purposes, he looks to be a good guy. I mean, we within the community complain about, people get this high and they don't have he's got a black family. He is a lifelong Marylander like you. What is it about this man that you say you'll never vote for him? And he's a Democrat. And I know you're a independent, but I know that you vote heavily Democrat or I mean, what is it about him that you say I'm not? Is it just your disdain for the Democratic Party? Back to the poll. Do you want reparations for indigenous black people? 11 votes, 11 yeses. And I put it like that specifically. Do you want reparations for? Because I have white people that come in here and vote. They come in here and watch the show. And I would want to think that some of them said, yes, black people do need. But they're more than welcome to say no. Just like black people that come in here, you're more than welcome to say no. But I would like some commentary on why, if you do say no, why do indigenous black people not deserve reparations? All these other nations and nations of people that have endured nothing like black people have received reparations. Jewish people received reparations. I've never heard one Jewish person say, "No, we didn't deserve reparations for people going into them gas chambers." I've never heard a Jewish person say that we didn't need those reparations that we got for getting slaughtered in those gas chambers. I've never heard a Jewish person say we didn't deserve those. You're not going to hear a Jewish person say that they didn't deserve those reparations. You're never going to get a Jewish person to say that they didn't deserve those reparations. Never. So why is there such a disdain from black people receiving reparations? I'd like to know. YWG, Charles County, Maryland currently holds, okay, it's moved from PG to Charles County. Charles County, Maryland currently holds the distinction of being the wealthiest county where black people reside, recently surpassing its longtime rival, Prince George's County. So Charles County, and there are a lot of entrepreneurs that live in Charles County. Wow, that is wow. Wow is wow. Waldorf came up. Charles County, Maryland is now the wealthiest county where black. Wow, that's big. That's big. Wow. Okay. YWG said West reminds him of Obama. Also, Brooks and the rest of them shiny Negroes that be skinning and grinning, dancing and rapping to get my vote. I can see phony on people's faces. Wow. Okay. Them shiny Negroes. Okay. Everybody has their right to their own opinion. But yeah, I'm pretty sure the YWG brought that up about Charles County because he lives in Charles County. Right. YWG After Dark says you cannot say no because it was given to others without a fight. Those other populations of people were not coming out saying no, we don't deserve we don't deserve reparations. Never once are you going there. Charles County is the #1 county in the United States for black people to live in. But that traffic to get about that piece is woo. Woo. Charles County might be #1. But boy, that commute is #1 on. Whew. Is it that people in the black bourgeoisie don't want to see? They don't want to see everyone rise up. I don't understand that. When you were raised by your parents raised you to be better than them, and then you have children and you raise your children to be better than you. So why is it that we as black, we don't want the embetterment of all black people? Why is it? I'm pretty sure that there are lots of mad Marylanders at this decision by Wes Moore. I know there are. I know Prince George's County and now Charles County, they're not happy about what Wes Moore has done. And you say that, he's doing this because he wants to run for president. Well, black people have to vote for him too. And black people are disenchanted with the Democratic Party. Black people are leaving the Democratic Party in droves. They're leaving the Democratic Party in droves. In this decision by Wes Moore just proves that there are people that are out of touch with the needs of everyone. There are people that are out of touch. A person that a politician to stand on code, even if they don't want you to have reparations. You can't veto the study. You're going to veto the study of it. You're not vetoing the law to be enacted. You're vetoing the study of it. That's a slap in your constituents' faces, Wes Moore. There's no other way to look at it. It's a slap in the face. You have two of the wealthiest counties in America for African Americans, and they want reparations for black people. But you yourself, because of your individual successes, you vetoed the bill? Come on, man. even with that black family, that makes you look like an enemy to the people. Yeah, and let's say that. Yeah, because we're not going. Yeah, we're gonna talk about the good thing about over here. We'll talk about the good things that you do, but we're gonna talk about we hold black people accountable on this channel. Everybody can get it. Everybody can get it. We hold black people accountable over here. Anybody can get it. West did do good by federal employees who lost their jobs. He opened up to lots of people who were laid off within the federal government in Maryland and in this. They have been able to get jobs in Maryland within the Maryland government, and that's a good thing. And that's a great thing because people are hurting out here, especially if you were making a nice federal salary and now it's gone because of Doge. That's a great thing that West did, but we're gonna call you out for what you didn't do, West, and you vetoed a study that it just doesn't. Your explanation on why you vetoed the study, it just comes across as political. Political. We're 52 minutes into the show. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Share this video out. Subscribe to the page. Join the conversation. We hold black people accountable over here. We do. And Wes, you dropped the ball. You dropped the ball, Wes. You dropped the ball in looking at your individual success. Your individual success is a good thing for the totality of black people, but it's not all encompassing. Your successes don't trickle down to the lower level black people, low income. Your success isn't trickling down. Now, if your success was trickling down, I can see why you would say no, but no, your success isn't trickling down on an individual level. It's not. Now, if there was some type of trickle down effect because of your success and you could show that, then I would see your saying that there's no need for reparations, but it's not. There is no trickle down effect from your success. Some people need you to give them the boots so that they can pull them up. Some people don't even have the boots to pull up by the straps that y'all say. Sometimes you have to give the people the boots. Just my outlook on things. It's just my outlook. Hey, Pontoon Jody, how you doing tonight? Y'all go check out Pontoon Jody. I know there's plenty of people in here who like to fish. There's plenty of people in here who like catfish. Go check out Pontoon Jody and watch that lady catch big old catfish, 50-pound catfish, 60-pound catfish. Go check out Jody. See what them Tennessee rivers is hitting on. YWG said he walked away. He walked away from the Democrats because it was too much dancing, hot sauce in the purse, kneeling with kente cloth, greens in the tub, Meg the Stallion, no voting, vote or die, and the list goes on. Yeah, the Democrats came with a lot of shenanigans, but no platform. You know, we talk crazy about stuff, but it just came out that Joe Biden has stage 4 prostate cancer. So we want to extend our thoughts and prayers to Joe Biden. Yeah, so he's going through his fight. Obama came out today and said that, he knows that Joe is going to fight the tough fight, and we'll see. Stage 4 of any type of cancer it's not very good, but we want to share our thoughts to Joe Biden, as it was announced that he has stage 4 prostate cancer. So, yeah. Now back to Westmore. Do black people need to consider these people that don't vote for? Are these people enemies? Are these people out of touch? How are we to look at these people? Because in a couple years, these same people that he slapped in the face in Charles County and Prince George's County, he's going to need their vote to win. Always, Jody, always. He's going to need their votes. And when they ask him about what can he say? Westmore is going to need those votes in Charles County and Prince George's County to win that re-election. I'm pretty sure that there's lots of people that are in Baltimore and Baltimore City that are as equally mad as the people in PG County and Charles County. He is going to need those people's votes come 2024. Is it a 4-year term in Maryland? It's 4 years. YWG said, yes, they are the ops. Is that how these people that go counterintuitive to the needs of black people, do we need to look at these people as ops? Do we need to look at these people as ops? It was lots of people. He campaigned in Charles County and Prince George's County hard. He's going to need those votes. What is he going to tell those people that ask him, why'd you veto the reparations study? YWG said West is going to need those votes from us. Well, he's cooked. He's cooked. And those are big counties. Charles County, Prince George's County, Baltimore City, Baltimore County. Those are areas highly populated by black people. Black people that are going to remember that he vetoed the study for reparations. Not the reparations bill, reparations law, but the study. YWG said anybody that hurts us is the ops. Anybody that hurts us is the ops. Anybody that hurts us is the ops. I know black men looked at Chucks and Pearls as an op. I will say that. But yeah, will black people in Maryland look at Westmore as the ops now? Wes Moore be trusted to do what's right? Can Wes Moore be trusted to do what's right? YWG, of that population in Charles County, how what's the population of black people? Wow, that's a lot of 171,000 people in Charles County. Man, that's a lot of people. I didn't know it was that many people that lived in Charles County. 81.8 thousand are. That's a lot of black folks. That's a lot of black folks. That's a lot of black folks. Wes is going. I mean, when it's time for the political trail, Wes gonna have a lot of explaining to do. Maybe that's why he vetoed it now, because he wants to give 2 years for the black people of Maryland to forget about him vetoing this. In 2 years, will the black people of Maryland remember that? Will they remember that Wes Moore vetoed the reparations study? Woo! Prince George's County has 578,000 people, 63% of black. And those are some of the richest black people in America. And I think it's safe to say that lots of those people are for reparations for black people. Black politicians got to do better. Got to do better, black politicians. Sometimes you got to go on the other side and say, I got to do this for my people just because I got to do it for them. Sometimes and black politicians don't do that. They look at that as, if I do something for my people, that's career suicide. No, it ain't. No, it ain't. No, it ain't. It can never be career suicide if you help your people, because you only get to be in that office for 8 years anyway, 4 years anyway. So you might as well do something for. What y'all say? Did West get it wrong? Did West get it wrong? Does the black bourgeoisie, do they have it wrong? Do I'm not even gonna. It sounds silly saying this, but do black people deserve reparations? It sounds silly saying that. Yes, black people deserve reparations. We went through 400 years of bondage. People that say that there's no racism, people was getting hosed with fire hoses in 1968. They was putting fire. So people that say that there's no racism and that people don't need, yeah, it hasn't been that long. It hasn't been that long. And if you're a millionaire, you still need reparations. That still ain't enough. Yep. YWG said, nope. Americans will forget because of short-term memory and voting with emotions. I really believe that that's the reason. I really believe that's the reason he came out and vetoed that. Now is He's got 24 months until election, and I think that he's banking on that time going by that people are going to forget about this. No, we're not. We're going to bring it back up when it's time for you to run, and there are going to be people there that are going to question you. We can't look at successes of individuals in terms of the successes of a whole nation of people. We can never do that. Your individual successes are yours, not ours. Now we glorify, as black people, we always glorify when somebody does good or somebody, we emotionally are connected to that. But no, that emotional connection is not helping in the plight of everything that's going on. Yes, we do vicariously live through black people's successes, but successful black people do not vicariously live through the lives of the people that are below them. They don't. And this shows you. But they're banking on that. They're banking on your emotions. I hate to say that. They're banking on your emotional connection to them as a black person that you'll overlook the fallacies that they put out there. And a lot of us ain't going for that now. Right. Exactly. And that's exactly what I say. That's what I say, YWG After Dark. West seems to be a cool dude, but cool is not a policy. Yeah, you can get up there and jig and do all the little dances, and we know you from the you us. But yeah, all that jigging and all that dancing, and yeah, you and your wife doing them little videos. And now Westmore is a cool dude. Him and his wife, they put little videos on Instagram and TikTok. Wes is a cool dude, but like he said, cool is not a policy. It's not a policy, and that's why we're talking about this. Cool is not a policy. And I like Westmore. He's successful. Yeah. But just as the people that are below you vicariously live through your successes, successful people need to vicariously live through the shortcomings of the middle and the lower class people. That exalting can go up, but it looks like it can't come back down. Yes. We as black people live vicariously through the successes of other black people. It's a connection. We feel that. But those people don't vicariously live through the lives of middle class and low income individuals. If they did, he would never have vetoed this reparations study. Never. 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 Yeah, I like West. When I lived in Maryland, I loved Westmore. I like what he said. He's a successful black man. Why wouldn't I? But everybody don't have your successes, West, man. You gotta look outside yourself. And to veto this reparations bill, man, it's a lot of black voters just gonna think about that when it comes time to vote for you again. When you up there saying what you gonna do for black people. You cannot run a political race in Maryland and try to pull the covers over the black people there. It's not gonna happen. I've been there and seen people, they be exalting them one day and they be trying to take them to jail the next day. So yeah. Wes, you only as good as what you did yesterday. What you did 2 days ago, brother, you're going to have to speak for that. You have to speak for that. We got to start holding black politicians accountable, especially if they want you to vote for the Democratic Party. We got to look at you extra. We have to look at you with the extra discernment, because the Democratic Party is in a shambles. They have no direction. They don't know what they're going to do with the mad black people that left the party. But what y'all gonna do? What is the Democratic Party going to do for the people that didn't vote for Kamala Harris? They seem like they just don't get it. You can't come out west and veto the study. You can't. We're at an hour and 11 minutes into this show. We've been talking about Westmore and his decision to veto the reparations study bill in Maryland. Maryland has two of the highest populated areas by successful black Americans. PG County was number one. Now it's number two to Charles County. Charles County is the number one county in America for black Americans who have risen the social status ladder. I know people in Prince George's County is like, what? But yeah, all those business owners that lived in PG County, they've moved to Charles County where they can get more for their money. I think that's the reason that Charles County is number one now, is that you can get more bang for your buck in terms of real estate in Charles County as opposed to PG County. A shotgun one-bedroom house will cost you $300,000 in PG County. YWG said the Democratic Party will not do anything for blacks. They have a canned answer. We will look into it. Never promised them anything. YWG, you hit. We will look into it. Yeah, you hear that a lot. We will look into it. We'll bring that up. We'll bring that up in the next committee meeting, and we'll try to. And then next thing you know, it got chaired. Democratic Party, yeah, that's what they do. We'll look into it, and then it go to the committee, and the committee chairs it for 3 years. Yeah, that's their playbook. But we know this. We know these things now, Democrats. Yeah, you can't tell us you're gonna do something and then bring it up, and then when it gets into the committee, then you table it. That's not gonna work. It's not gonna work this time, Democratic Party. You're not gonna be able to table the concessions that you said you were gonna do for us. You're not gonna be able to table those things and say we'll bring it up. Yeah, it's not gonna work. That playbook is dead. That playbook is dead. It's time to come up with a better playbook. We don't believe you now. We don't. And lots of black people are independents now because of that jive bull y'all been talking. So, man, it's what it is. But 11 yes votes. Black people need reparations. Why can't black people be made to feel whole? Why? Why can't black Americans be made to feel whole? Is it something that you... And it looks like sometimes we are our own worst enemy. I hate to say that, but even if you've had successes, you cannot be a black person and say you're against reparations. Everybody wasn't afforded the opportunities that you were able to take advantage of. And that's not just to Westmore, that's to any black person that's really against reparations. And it tends to be the black bourgeoisie that's against it. No people that from Jewish descent or black people that were South Africans, you'll never hear their people come out and say, we don't deserve, or we don't need reparations. You're never going to hear that. You're never going to hear that. You're not going to hear those Japanese Americans that were put in internment camps. You're never going to hear them come out and say, we didn't deserve those reparations for them putting us in them internment camps. You're never going to hear that. But you will have black people that have made it that will say, all black people don't need reparations. We talk about these things to bring to light issues that we go through in the black community. We bring up these issues not to defame anyone that we've talked about, but we bring this up to bring light on some of the decisions that you make. Because with your individual successes that you have acquired, the choices that you make, they aren't for all the people. They aren't for all the people. And as a governor, your choices need to be for all the people, based on all the people's experiences, and not just your individual experiences. We're going to continue to hold black people accountable on this channel. We're going to continue to hold everyone accountable about the conversations that we have on here. No one is without. No one is all good. No one. No one is exempt from ridicule. And we will ridicule things that we deem counterproductive to any people. But tonight we're talking about issues of black people and reparations.
Lab Addicts Music Group.
I hope I said something that makes you think. That makes you look at what's going around you a little bit more. Because that's what I'm here for. I tell you how I see stuff through my lens. Now, my lens may not be everybody else's lens, but I just want to bring to light the situations that we go through as black people. It's your boy Maas, and this has been another edition of Dope Conversations. I'll see y'all tomorrow night.